God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried tasteless joints, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on.
That's right. We're always springing that serious gourmet stuff on you because this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best New York Giants sports talk and entertainment, doing an on-screen video today. Why? Because why not? Breaking out the old Rodney Hampton game-worn number 27 jersey. Is again. You know what? I have so many things in the Online Big Blue closet that sometimes I forget what I have and I forget what I don't have. So I went into the Online Big Blue archives and found the Rodney Hampton game-worn jersey. So we're going to rock it today. Why? Because we're doing part 2 of our episode. The episode yesterday, of course, was the New York Giants and where they're at and what they're going to be doing in training camp. And we went over the defense yesterday. Today, we're going to go over the offense. I am going to pull up the depth chart for the New York Football Giants. I'm not even going to pull up the depth chart. I'm going to pull up the rooster, pull up the roster for the Giants right now so we can go through position by position group and tell you what we feel or what I feel the Giants are going to be doing, need to do, or potentially can do this season right now. And it's fun being on the camera because it's all getting excited. I got everything going on here. I feel just came out of the gym. I feel a little pumped up today. So let's get started. Where should we start with? We're not going to start with Dan Jones because that's going to be way too easy. Let's see here. Let's go through the depth chart here. Not even depth chart. I should phrase that. Let's go through, let's start at the wide receiver position. We all know we have the smooth sounds of Kenny G. We know that Kenny has this problem. Now we're sitting there, we're trying to find the Kenny G sound effects.
Bringing you the smooth sounds of Kenny G. 72 million. Not worth it, as you can plainly see.
Now the big question is Kenny G going to be as bad as he was last year? We've talked about it before. There was a lot of scuttlebutt coming out of Detroit that he could have played with that hip pointer, but you know what? It is what he is. We signed the contract. He is our only truly, outside of Darius Slayton, viable deep threat on the outside. He's our only true, if you take a look at the roster outside of Darius Slayton, he's our only true outside receiver that has any type of potential, any type of talent that could go far and above and beyond. I know a lot of people are going to, but what about Robert Foster, the 6'2" guy out of Alabama who came up from Miami, 196 pounds, 28 years old? Yeah, Robert Foster had one good season. You're going to rely on CJ Board? I don't think so. You're going to rely on Alex Bachman? I don't think so. And I talked about this before, and we talked about it a million times before. Darius Slayton, number 86, is going to be something special this year, I think. 6'1", 194 pounds out of Auburn, going into his 4th season. He's going to be something special this year. I feel it. He had 2 good seasons. He had a bad season last year. The bad season was attributed to a lot of different things. We discussed that on this channel multitudes of times, but we're not going to get into that again. If you want to, go watch the video. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to have your outside receivers of It's Kenny G and Darius Slayton on the outside. Now, the inside, it gets a little bit more interesting when you look at the slot position. Of course, you have Kadarius Toney coming off of the injury season. One big game, really, truly in Dallas. Big game in Dallas. Kind of pedestrian the rest of the way, kind of injured the rest of the way. 6 feet, 193 pounds, of course, out of Florida. 4-year guy out of Florida. He didn't really show anything out of Florida, really, until during the COVID season. You go out and draft Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale Robinson, to me, is a Smurf at 5'8", 185 pounds out of Kentucky. Sorry, Dom. I know he's a little bit taller than you still. But you know what? You drafted redundancy. Similar player, similar talent. I think Kadarius Toney has more of the burst, more of the option to get out, more to get the ability to make players miss. But I think Wan'Dale will be more of a concise player. He will be more of a player that will be given a role on this team. But you got 2 guys really, vying for that slot position. You also have to take a look at Sterling Shepard coming off the injury. He's in his 7th year at Oklahoma. Is Sterling going to be there? Who knows? And then you got Amiri Marta guys. You got Austin Proehl, Colin Johnson. You got Richie James. Richie James, Richie James showed a lot in mandatory minicamp. He showed a lot. Another 5'9" guy, 185 pounds, been in the league for 5 years. 4 years, technically, it's his 5th year. So you don't really have a lot. You got CJ Board, you got Alex Bachman, you got the venerable David Sills, but we don't really have much besides this position group. Health is going to be the key. Health is going to be the key for Kenny. Health is going to be the key for Darius. Health is going to be the key for Kadarius Toney. So we have to kind of just wait and see. We jump into the tight end room. Of course, you got Ricky Seals-Jones Jr. as our old buddy James Williams says. It sounds like he's a new kid on the block guy. Or what did he put? New edition. Candy girl. Yeah, oh my world. He could be a new addition guy. I don't know what that name, but you know what? To me, he's a professional tight end. So you got to take a look at him as well. You got to take him seriously. You know, you got Austin Allen, also the rookie I'm kind of interested in. You got Jordan Ankins coming out of here. So, you know what? I think, you know, and we, of course, we have the venerable Daniel Bellinger who's coming off the year, who went on the pup with the injury. But you know what? It's one of those things you got to look at. I actually fine with the tight end room. I think we have enough capable tight end talent to man that position more than handily. And if it has to be on a rotational basis, that's fine. But I do think you've got enough guys out there that have the ability to be rotational guys. So I think we'll be fine with that. I think we'll be okay with that. I got to move my number 27 down. Yeah, feel like I'm going to suit up and go in there, guys. And I, you know, again, like I said, the skill positions outside of running, you got to also look at the running back position. Again, it's going to be you got old Matt. Oh, I love Matt. And I call him Matt because we're just tight like that. I loved him in San Francisco coming in at the running back position, number 31, out of Georgia Southern. I think he's more than a capable guy. He's more than a capable guy to back up. He's a guy that could spell Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is going to be the engine that makes this team move. If he gets 1,500 yards, that's what I think they're going to be, you know, have to do. He's in his fifth year out of Penn, going down in his fifth year out of Penn State. So you know he's 6'2", 332 pounds. Will the elusive come back for Barkley? I don't know, but you know what? I think he's going to stay healthy. I think he's going to stay healthy long enough to make an impact for this team, and I really do. You got the likes of Gary Brightwell and Corbin out of Florida State. You got Sandro Platzengummer. We got the Platzengummer, so everything's going to be all fine. You also got Antonio Williams, who we took off the practice squad from Buffalo. I mean, I think you have two quality guys in Matt and Saquon, and you could back them up with the guys that we have. I am kind of curious to see what Corbin's going to do because he is a speed guy. He could be a return guy, but you know what? I think that's going to be an interesting option. Do we want to go into the offensive line? Because you know what? I've gone into the offensive line ad nauseum. I'm not overly impressed with the talent we have sitting on this line right now. You got Feliciano, Jamie Douglas, Matt Garcia, Mark Lewinsky. You got what's his name? Hamilton, the kid out of Duke. You got what's his name? You got the rookie. What's his name? Joshua Riveras. I can't remember his name. You got a Miramar to get. You have Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. One's coming off an injury. One's coming off a rookie. You're replacing 4 spots on this offensive line. You need to, and I've said this before. This offensive line is a collection of talent. They're not an offensive line yet. They are a collection of talent. They have to build into a cohesive unit. And if they don't, poor Daniel Jones is going to get killed. I have a lot of concerns about the right guard position. A lot of people I know are in love again with Shane Lemieux, but he really hasn't shown much in 2 years outside of being able to do a little bit of run blocking. Can't pass blocking to save his life. I'm not looking at Matt Garcia, you know, dropping in there as well. You got the other rookies coming in as well. You got Joshua, the other big rookie, coming here. I'm not feeling it yet. You have to hope that John Feliciano can hold up at center. You got to hope that maybe Nick Gates can make a return. You got to hope that Lewinsky's not a system guy. And you have to hope that Evan Neal can play up to beyond expectations at that right tackle position. And you got to hope that Andrew Thomas is healthy. You hope in all hurry. So you got to, it's another if position. We got to kind of just wait and see what happens. Then we get into the venerable quarterback position. Do we really need to talk about the quarterback position? And I'm not being facetious. It is what it is. We've talked at it. He talked about it ad nauseum. You got Tyrod Taylor, Daniel Jones, and Davis Webb. And no, it was not a Freudian slip me putting Tyrod Taylor at first because I have more confidence and more faith in Tyrod Taylor. Daniel Jones, I've said it a million times. If we are going to do anything with this season, it's going to have to be with Daniel Jones driving because he's the guy that supposedly has the most talent. So he has to be the guy that he's got to be. I've said it before. He's got to be Darryl Strawberry. He's got to be the straw that stirs the drink. If he's not, we're not going to win, or as much as we want to. I think Tyrod Taylor would be good in spurts, maybe 4 or 5 games in a row, but I don't see anything beyond that. I love the person that on Twitter told me the other day. So if the Giants make the NFC Championship game, you wouldn't re-sign Daniel Jones. I said no, and I'm gonna say no again. And the guy was kind of a moron because he didn't quite understand it. If the Giants make the NFC Championship game, it's not just because of Daniel Jones. It's probably because of Saquon Barkley. It's probably because the defense, it will be because the offensive line gelled. It will be because the defense balled out. So it doesn't mean you're going to still sign the guy. You're not going to drop $30 million in a bucket for a guy that has one good season out of 4. It's just not the way football works. And again, I've said it before, you win with your own guys. General managers want to win with the coach and they want to win with their own quarterback, and that's what they're going to do with Daniel Jones. But we don't need to get into it. The offense has tons of more question marks than the defense. Defense still has its own if factors, but the offense has more questions. I think the offense has a lot of question marks. The offensive line is a question mark. Skill position is a question mark. The quarterback is a question mark. But you know what? That's why we have training camp. We're going to have a big stream, I think, on Wednesday to talk about this. We have the August 5th stream. You get to hang out in the Coaches Club with me, the Venerable James Williams, OGR Sports, and, drumroll please if I had one, Dom is going to fly in from the UK. Dom is coming all the way from Poppycockers to attend this game with us and sit there for the 40-yard pass challenge where I'm going to drop a perfect pass at the end of the game from the 35-yard lines, 5 yards deep into the end zone. For a touchdown. We're going to do it for charity. I haven't picked a charity up. We're doing it for charity. We'll figure that out later. You know what? Camp starts Wednesday. I'm excited. It's going to be boring until probably the middle of next week, but it's going to be fun seeing all the guys in, seeing what we can do, and kind of going from there. Hopefully I can find my theme music. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could if you subscribe, if you can ring that bell, you know what it means? That'd be awesome.